I'm Shanley Horgan, this is COM 110, and this is my informative speech. So we all have something that we hope will one day be our big break or our chance to shine. For some of us, we have different avenues that we hope that we can get there, whether it's pro sports, or newscasting, research in the hard sciences. I know personally for me, I hope that I can one day make it big in sports marketing. According to NC State in 2014, it was the year 1937 when Vernon Rudolph got his chance to shine. This came through what we now know as Krispy Kreme donuts, but since their 1930s debut, they have significantly evolved, especially in regards to production and marketing. The production of Krispy Kreme donuts in 2015 is nothing like how it was when it began almost 80 years ago. Business was personal back in the beginning years of the company. It was based in one building here in Winston-Salem, in the region that we now call the Old Salem area. Rudolph sold only to local grocers, according to the North Carolina History Project. He sold to grocers every morning, and they would stock their stores with his donuts and reimburse them for the donuts that they sold. However, when word got around about how good his donuts were, customers were literally banging down his door, begging for him to sell them in a retail environment, as opposed to the wholesale that he had began selling as. He eventually wanted to meet the demands of these customers and literally cut a hole out of the wall that he was renting and started selling through this tiny hole in the wall. As he gained popularity with his donuts, he was forced to open new stores around both the Carolinas. However, all these stores were still hand-making donuts every morning. This began a problem in Rudolph's company scheme of things, and that the donuts were starting to taste different at every location that he went around to, as he was supervising all of the different retail stores. So he decided to make the executive decision to start automating production. However, this sounds like the donuts were made in a factory, shipped off, and reheated every morning, which isn't true and still isn't true today, according to how stuff works. So that's good news for us as consumers. How he decided to do it was he made every ingredient separate in the factory, so the dough, the frying oil, and the glaze. And then those ingredients separately were shipped to the retail stores, where they were then, how we can see today still, you can literally see the glaze going onto the donuts as they're being made. So these larger levels of production called for heavier marketing as well. Some examples of the marketing strategies started as early as 1944, according to the Krispy Kreme Donuts website in 2015. The very first marketing strategy that Rudolph employed was the display case, which you still see in every retail store. This was in 1944, and he kind of coined the display case, not only in the donut industry, but in all of the sweets and bakery industries around the area. The next one came in 1955, which was the bow tie hat, which we still see today. So the reasoning he had behind it was that if he gave out these bow tie hats with every purchase, and all the kids would want to wear the bow tie hats to show off they had just gone to Krispy Kreme, then they'd make their friends want to go to Krispy Kreme as well, which is a pretty smart marketing strategy if you ask me. 1955 was a big year for him, as later in the year he started group fundraising. I know I've used group fundraising for Krispy Kremes back in high school. I'm sure you guys have as well. So that was a really big year for him as he started to branch out. And then in 1960, he decided to standardize the appearance of all the different retail stores that he had encompassed around the South. So this is where he got the green roof tile appearance from, and the Heritage Classic sign that you still see today with the big red cursive writing. The most notable marketing strategy that he employed was pretty recent in 1992, and this was the birth of the Hot Light. So I know personally I've swerved into Krispy Kreme before, seeing that the Hot Light was on, because that shows that the donuts are being made as the Hot Light's on, that means the donuts are being made right there in the moment. These marketing efforts paid off when Krispy Kreme finances went public in 2000. According to Bloomberg, in 2013, their shares soared over 840% from their former scores. This was inspiring famous people such as Hank Aaron to open new retail stores. He opened one in Atlanta, And they were even featured on the cover of Fortune magazine as America's hottest brand, which is a nice play on words. Keep in mind that Vernon Rudolph was just 22 when he got his chance to shine. His empire has now grown to 925 stores in 23 different countries, according to the corporate fact sheet. Even though he has passed away, his legacy will live on through the delicious donuts he started right here in Winston-Salem in his one-building bakery.